What's going on YouTube? Is Donnie B all day, and I'll tell you what, I did a video on restoring some old blades that had some caca marks on them, and one of our brothers of the blade responded to that video saying, hey man, I want to see a video done on this one particular knife. He's a brother of the blade, so of course I gotta comply. So basically what he wanted to see was a video on this guy right here, the Szco Western carbon steel Bowie. This thing, now this has a very, very special place in my heart, but before I get into it, let's go over the sheath. There's not much to get over. It's a it is leather, but it's a cheap leather. It's flimsy, it's thin. You can buy custom sheaths and or just go to any leather guy and have one made for you. But this thing, it's actually a friction holding sheath, and this version is pretty good. So I've had it for a long time. You can see at the bottom I got a little bit of falling apart pieces, but I've had this knife for a very, very long time, and I bought it when I was younger because I couldn't afford the Case XX Bowie, which is my all-time favorite knife. So when I saw this for 20 bucks, actually back then I think I got it for 15. This knife right here was, you know, basically just like in my eyes when I was a kid. Oh, that's just like the Case, blah, 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 blah. Of course it's not. There's so many differences. I can't even begin. Sorry, Case. But I'll tell you what, that blade is about 140 bucks. This one is about 20 bucks. That's right, this blade is about $20. It is 15 inches overall, true full tang construction. It's got a 10-inch blade. It does have the brass S-guard. It has brass pins. It's got a pretty plain but still fairly attractive wooden handle. You know what I mean? If you like wooden handles, and it's just when you put it in your hand, you know you're holding a Bowie knife. You know you're holding a serious freaking blade. It is high carbon, so if you leave it in a place where it gets wet, you're gonna get a lot of carbon spots, which I did, and that's why I did another video of cleaning one of these guys up. I had a bunch of dark brown carbon spots. The blade looks fantastic. Cleans up real well, and it's just held up over time. I mean, this is like 57 Corvette hold up over time. You know what I mean? It just keeps going. You can't kill this knife. This is one of the best blade investments I've ever made, and I made this when I was very young, and I still have it. I still have it. I still use it. I still love it. You know, I actually put using it on pause for a while because I used this thing for years. I put using it on pause for a while, and I had it hanging in a bathroom, right? In my bathroom, and next to a tomahawk. And it was the steam from the shower that got it all oxidized, you know, and I didn't even realize it because the side that was against the wall was the side that got all the oxidation. So one day I pulled it off to use it because I'm like, you know what, I need to go do some chopping. I'm just going to grab the old Szco. Even though I have 1,000 knives, I wanted my old Szco, so I pulled it off, I turned it over, and I went, rah! And that's actually not what I did. I went, damn, that's pretty much what I did. But it cleans up well. The thing really holds. It's a great blade. I haven't done anything to the edge in years, probably. And this edge, you know, the only thing I've done is whetstone. That's it. That's all I've ever done through all the time I've had this. And I brought you a ton of knives over 100 bucks. I brought you a bunch of knives over 200 bucks. I even brought you a lockback knife that's over $640. But still, this one right here, this $20 Bowie, man, this thing can ride with every single one of them. This thing right here is a beast. So let's get to using the old Szco. Yeah, hold on. All right, so we talked about it's an old edge. Well, let's give it a new swing. Sharp. sharp, sharp, sharp. It's just because it's an old edge doesn't make it a bad edge. This thing is sharp. I mean, awesome. You know what this means? I'm going to have to dry it off and throw some more Moz polish on there because I don't want to go through that again. It's just awesome. Let's keep going. Well, we got the old palette here, so I figure why not take a few whacks. Man, do you see the bite in that? I mean, just insane. Look at that. Ugh. Yeah. This is what happens when you deal with the Szco Bowie. Oh my goodness. This thing is a forever beast. And I say that because I've owned this now for so long. And it is just continuously chopping just like this. It is just freaking awesome. $20 Bowie. Awesome. Let's keep going. So I brought it over to the stump, and I just dropped it so I could set up the camera, but it made this great sound when I just dropped it. It was just like this nice, hard, bam, solid knife. So let's do a couple of straight drops from 4 feet. Check the balance. Straight drop, straight down. Ugh. And the bite is incredible. This knife is just awesome. Couple of downward throws here. And it is just solid. Ugh. Solid, 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 solid. Let's do a little bit of prying now. Remember, it is false edge. There's a little swedge up here, so you don't want to go crazy prying, but man, I have so much faith in this thing. You hear that? You know what that is? That's me prying wood out of this thing without damaging the edge or the tip or any part of it. Man, this thing is just awesome. It's just a great, great knife. Vacuum cleaner hose, nice hard rubber. Let's see. I missed. Bing. That piece went flying. That piece went flying. All right, so this stick's getting smaller and smaller. So why not take it down a little more? And can it baton? Yes, it can baton. It's smooth. It's awesome. It's strong. It's $20. Whoop. It's just a beast. I mean, when you're talking about your classic Western Bowie, this right here is it. You know what I mean? This is it. This is the knife you want in your collection. If you're building up your own little cowboy set, it's a must-have. And for the price and for the quality, then you're not going to... And now, I'm not talking... When I talk quality, I'm not talking about fit and finish. Because remember, it is a $20 knife. Fit and finish-wise, you can see... Where is it over here? You could see, like, just the cruddy McNasties that, you know, come around here. And you could see that it's not perfect all the way through. But not a single bit of that matters. Because it's all about this knife. It's about this knife being this awesome. Let's see. Now, we're getting a lot of rain here, so I can barely see what I need to see. So I'm trying to find everything here. Now, let's see. Can it cut through the rope? Whoop. Yep, it's cutting through the rope. It's cuts. Let's see can we chop through the rope. Whoop, I just hammered it into the... I did get it. There we go. It got stuck in there. I hammered it straight in. This edge just pulled that stuff right through. And it did cut it. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I could shave it. This thing's so old. I don't know. Let me try to use the part of the blade that you don't use that much, and maybe that'll take off some hairs. And it's like moving some hairs, and it's probably breaking some hairs more than anything. But remember, I've had this for a very long time, and I haven't sharpened it in a very long time. So that's why it's definitely not going to be shave sharp. However, it is 1-inch forest sharp. So what do you say we go into the 1-inch forest, we knock a couple down, and we see how much of a badass this thing really is. All right, I'm having a hell of a time setting you guys up over here. But I think we got something good. So here we are in the 1-inch forest, and I got a nice 1-inch forest tree right here. And what I'm going to do is just take it down a little bit. So I think what I'll do is I'll start from the bottom. And it only takes one swing to get this guy down. And you can see what a beautiful cut that was. So now what I want to do is just take it down some more. Szco carbon Bowie style. So that's one. Uh-oh. That's two. That's three. All right, well, you get the gist of it. So 3 strikes, 3 pieces. Let's put a couple of those down, take 2 over to you, and show you this blade here. So we'll start by doing the old cucumber peel. All right, because that's what it looks like. Looks like peeling a cucumber, and look at that. Look at that. This thing is so butter smooth. It's taking off just what I want it to. Just skinning it, right? It's not taking off excess. I'm going right under. I still got some of the green left, and I just want that nice cucumber. Look at that. Well, let's get back into focus here. Just beautiful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shave it down a little bit. Now we're going to take out some chunks, and this thing is made to de-chunkify some wood. Now remember, normally if you're doing this, as I get blurry again, normally when you're doing this, what you want to do is put it down against something solid and just swing away this way. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work because that's not very solid, but maybe you can see it. Oh, that's not going to work. But anyway, that's how I would do it. I would put it down against the ground, and I would chop this way to get the main meat of what I want gone. But we are here, so let's do it this way. And it is just removing wood with every pass. I'm getting blurrier and blurrier. Guys, I apologize for this camera. It doesn't have the same thought I do on what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. But as you can see, while I'm trying to waste time with cheap words, I'm actually getting to a point where I'm starting to find a tip here. And a good tip it is. So what's happening now is I'm making a nice spear point, which is good for a few different reasons. One, it's like having a backup, knife. If you have to fight a bear or a mountain lion, you want 2 in your hand, right? So having something like that, that's going to pierce the skin of an animal, no problem. And speaking of pierce the skin of an animal, if you have to dig a pit around your camp, you're worried about overnight, or if you're going to be camping for a while and you want to trap food, you dig a hole, you shove a bunch of these guys in there. There's your pit spike. Animal walks over the hole that you have lightly covered. It falls through. It dies over this guy right here, and that's how you catch yourself some. That's how you catch yourself some animals. So let's give myself a nice notch here, because you never know when you're building a shelter and you need a tie down, or you're making a bow and you need to knock it. Then it's these kind of notches that are important. Or if you need a square notch, I call them the Lincoln log notch. Then, especially if you're building a thin stick structure. Actually, this would be perfect size too. This is actually perfect size for the kind of shelters I like to build. And being able to have some Lincoln log notches, some square notches, is really, really important. It makes life just so much easier. So that's the 1-inch version of the 1-inch forest. I say we go into the thicker part of the 1-inch forest and knock down something a little heavier. and let you see how this guy really takes to swinging. All right, I got you guys all set up. Let's take this big guy right here. Find us a nice piece. I got you guys in there. Let's see how long it's going to take us. This is about a 2-inch tree here. And wow, that one went pretty much almost all the way through. And it's actually pretty much not connected anymore. It's just leaning against another tree. I mean, yeah, leaning against another tree up there. And it wants to fall. Woo. It fell. So it's just a beast. I mean, an absolute freaking monster. That's what this thing is. So let's take this guy, give the old side grip here. And everything just got quiet. I forgot to talk, which is not usually something I do. I'm Italian. I never forget to talk. But as you can see, feather sticking, it's just easy. It's just easy. I'm looking at you guys while I'm trying to do this. It's kind of difficult. But you can see, even this wet wood, I start getting a bunch of that. I let it dry for a little while. And in no time, I have myself some really, really good lightables, which is a word if you look it up in the old Ukrainian dictionary that I don't own. All right, so let's see if I can drag this guy into play over here. It's a big one, and I want to get a nice long piece. And you can, man, I don't know if you guys can see exactly how much wood is removed with every swing, but it is significant. Look, I get stuck in it. It is significant. I think you guys can see that. So let's see here. It's like having a hatchet that you wear in a knife sheath. You know what I mean? A hatchet that has so much value, you know, as a knife. So let's see. I want to make sure that I'm still getting you guys in there. I'll do it from right here. What I want to do is I want to baton a nice long piece, and this piece is nice and long, so it should do the trick. A nice long piece, and it is absolutely no problem. I mean, absolutely no problem. So what I'll do, since I already have these baton, woo-wee, I'll just take these in the house with me. I'll let them dry a little bit. I'll light them on fire. But here we go. The Szco carbon steel Bowie, Western style carbon steel Bowie. This thing is just an unstoppable force at $20. And at $20, do they make a throwing buoy? Let's go find out. Waha! All right. We have ourselves a target. We have ourselves a blade. Let's go back 5 yards. Find out who wins, target or blade. Uh-oh. I accidentally missed. Actually, I didn't miss too much. I hit the tip. I just guess I didn't throw it hard enough. Let me get rid of some of this stuff that I'm tripping on. Let's try this again. Oh, I did it again. You can see the chunk removed right here. I'm hitting the tip. I just hit it sideways. You know what's funny is I've thrown this a lot too. There's no reason I should be missing this blade. Oh. I know it sounded bad, but it's all still together. Let's try that one more time. Why? Why? God, it's getting embarrassing. I hit the tip again. You can actually, there's a line right here, a slice that I hit. I don't know how that didn't stick. This is awful. I don't know if it's because the tree is just absolutely saturated, but here again, there is an absolute line right here from the blade. I can see it hitting this angle, which means it's hitting blade side, and then the weight is just pulling itself back out. Let's do that one more time. There it is. Man. I've thrown this blade 100 freaking times. This is one of those blades that I'm more comfortable throwing. And let's see. It sounded really loose, but I don't know why. I think one of the welds might have let go on that one of those throws, but look at this. It's not going anywhere. My thumbs, I'm not touching the brass with the other hand. Look at that. So I don't know, maybe it just made a little bang against it, but it's still all there. $20 freaking dollars, guys. $20. And it took the abuse. I'm looking to see if I even cracked the handle, because on one of those, I think I hit the handle. Maybe not, I don't know. I know I hit the blade on pretty much every one of those throws. Wow. I don't know how they didn't stick, but that last one was just perfection. I mean, this knife isn't a throwing knife, so you're not going to be out there throwing it. You don't have to worry about damaging it like that. Every single other task, this thing completes with ease. I'm talking ease. Yeah, I don't know where that noise is coming from. This thing, it's on there pretty solid. So, let me see. There's no shifting. There's no separation. I'll show you guys nice and close. I don't know. It made a nice sound, but there's obviously it's not going to turn because it's a full tank construction, but I'll tell you, can't be any happier with a $20 knife than you would be with this one right here. I mean, you can't find any reason to be happier after spending 20 bucks. This guy right here is just an absolute beast. It's everything that you'd want an extra large Bowie to be. It's everything you'd want an extra large Bowie to be. It's strong, it's tough, it's beautiful. In the eye of the beholder, for me, this right here, this whole style, this is just beautiful. To me, this is everything a Bowie should look like. When, you know, I know for a fact, pretty much for a fact, I could say that this is not the Bowie that Jim Bowie used, you know, at the sandbar fight. He used, it looked more like a kitchen knife, a large kitchen knife. That's what they looked like back then. But when I picture Jim Bowie in a fight, I don't even think of a Musso Bowie. I think of this guy right here. I think this is the ultimate Bowie. But for 20 bucks, this is going to remain an ultimate Bowie in my collection because I just love it. I love it. I've loved it for a lot of years. I'm going to love it for a lot more. This thing is just gonna last forever. I have no doubt about that. And it's really, I've done minimal, you know, work to take care of this thing. I put it against a whetstone every 2 years, maybe, and then you know, I hit it with some Moz polish when I stored it in the wrong place, and that was my fault, not the knife's fault, because before that I never had any build up, any crap on it. So, guys, this Bowie right here, I mean, you see it. You want a feather stick? You want to slice through bottles? Slice through bottles. You want to attack a vacuum hose? Attack a vacuum hose. You want a baton? You want to cut down trees? You want to throw it? Anything you want to do with this knife, you do with it. And remember that the purpose of this knife isn't even what we just did. This is a fighting knife. These Bowies were fighting knives. They were keep your ass alive in the old Western frontier knives. That's what these were. That's what this knife is made for. It is made for fighting. And let me tell you something. This knife, I can fight with. Oh my golly, I can fight with this knife. And I can guarantee you this. I will walk away at the end. I will walk away at the end of any knife fight. You put one of these in my hand, I can guarantee you that. And man, This is the kind of knife that, you know, you embarrass yourself with because you're like, oh my God, I just spent 20 bucks on a Bowie. What's wrong with me? And then 10 years later, you say, oh my God, you know, this is the greatest purchase I ever made was 20 bucks on a Bowie knife. And fantastic. Guys, you're going to love it. I promise you that. You buy one of these, you're never, ever, ever going to regret it. The Szco Western high carbon steel Bowie knife. Fantastic. I'm Donnie B all day, and until next knife. Woo!